Podcast hosting provided by Transistor. If you want to host your own show, head over to transistor.fm and start a 14-day free trial.
Hello and welcome to Regen, the e-racing podcast. I'm your host Dino, and I'm here once again with Chris Soulsby from Motorsport Monday. How you doing, Chris?
Hello, I'm very good. Yeah, glad to be back on for the third time in this year, I believe. Very excited to talk about Formula E. Very good.
Yes, it has been a bit of a whirlwind week. We'll get into it.
Sorry, I'm actually drinking a cup of tea right now. Sorry, genuinely, I'm sipping a cup of tea right now. But yes, very, very busy week for Formula E, obviously. It's 50th race. Very busy week for me. So, yeah.
Yeah,
great.
So you've been working on your dissertation?
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yep.
Been working on my dissertation. 10,000 word, probably 11,000 once I'm finished. Essay
That's
for
rough.
uni. It's the most tedious thing I think I've had to do in my life.
Wow.
It's horrible. So almost done.
Well, I'm very thankful that you decided to come on here instead of doing another 1,000 words on it. So thank you very much.
Oh, I needed the distraction.
Have you had the F1 Netflix series as a distraction, Chris?
I unfortunately do not have Netflix, so I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it is quality. I think I'm not going to spoil it, but obviously, you know what happens during the season.
Yes,
It just gives a really cool background to all of the characters of Formula One. Gunther Steiner, he is really funny. A lot more sweary than I thought he was, but he's great. He is quality, and yeah, they sort of, I think, made up a couple of rivalries, but. Yeah, I don't think the Sainz and Alonso one was what they made out, but it's really cool. It follows Ricciardo a lot. So yeah, I fully recommend it. I've watched them all. So
oh wow.
Yeah.
Binge watched that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I've got one of my friends has been watching it, and he said he really liked it, quite simply because it doesn't focus on the battle between Mercedes and Ferrari.
Yeah.
It does focus on the midfield and with Red Bull as well. So I'll have to watch it at some point, definitely.
Yeah, definitely a watch. Definitely. Alrighty. Hong Kong, the 50th race. We also had the Jaguar I-Pace E-Trophy, so let's start with that one. And this was also a bit of a cracker.
Yeah, it was a very good race as well. The I-Pace E-Trophy made its debut in Algeria late December last year. It had its third race, I believe, in Hong Kong, and what a race it was. It's proving to be a very good racing series, in all honesty. It's very exciting.
I was a bit skeptical, but Jaguar has a pedigree, and the car looks cool, and some of the drivers,
yes,
Catherine Legg probably the most recognisable.
Yeah.
I didn't really know Brian Sellers coming into it, but obviously the Kiwi and brother of Mitch Evans was also in it. Yeah, Simon Evans, I was gutted for him. Let's
of course.
Yeah. So another 1-2. Brian Sellers winning and also becoming the first American to win a Jaguar I-Pace E-Trophy race. Catherine Legg, his teammate in second, and the Brazilian Sergio Jimenez. He started last, but a cracker of a drive. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Just incredible.
Started last up to third. Incredible race.
Final corner move on Simon to clinch third.
It's slightly controversial.
Slightly. But that's what we're all about.
Just a smidge. Just a smidge.
Yeah. And Kaka Bueno.
Bueno started from pole position. He had a very competitive opening stint in the race. He took off from pole immediately, led into turn one, held off Brian Sellers and Catherine Legg, who moved into third. And after the race, Brian Sellers turned around and said, Kaka today was untouchable. He was pushing harder than any other driver on track, and that reflected in the gap. But eventually, Bueno did make a mistake into turn 1 and ran deep and down the escape road, which really did cost him in the race. He lost.
Yeah, and finished P5. So
yeah, finished down in 5th.
I'm sure he was pretty gutted about that. Also, in the Pro-Am class, interesting, Yaki Zhang, so took his first win in the Pro-Am series.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, nearly 2 seconds ahead of the second place Pro-Am, Bandar LSI. And I think Bandar is actually winning the Pro-Am at the moment in the standings. So, yeah, good to get up one on him.
Yeah, so LSI won both in Algeria and Mexico City. So Yashi Zhang's win for China Racing obviously, marks his first win in the IPC trophy and actually marks a change in the Pro-Am class. So it's definitely a good win for him, but he's actually been penalised for the next race in Sanya.
Oh no.
He's been handed a 3-place grid penalty for his little clash with Celia Martin in the early stages of the race. So for those of you who didn't see it, Zhang took first place in Pro-Am by overtaking Martin, who had an absolutely fantastic start. And he essentially just charged up the inside of her and smashed into the side of her car and just continued driving, and nothing happened in the race, which I was very surprised about. Yeah. But it really did cost her, because she could have taken her first win if he wasn't so aggressive. But never mind.
Yeah, still got third. So
yeah, she still got third, which is a good result. It's actually her first full season in any form of motorsport.
What, really?
Genuinely, yeah. She was just previously a test driver for Jaguar.
Oh.
I was doing some research on this. She tested the Jaguar XE SV Project 8 car, and she drove that at the Nürburgring Nordschleife circuit. But this is her first full season in any competitive form of motorsport, which is incredible. It's incredible when you think about it. But
first outing, Jaguar IPC trophy. I mean,
first outing, yes.
Well, someone's put a lot of faith in her, and yeah, definitely looking like, she's
got
doing really
a lot
well.
of potential. A lot of potential.
For sure. So, the results, Sellers, Legg, Jimenez and Evans, the Kiwi, fourth.
Brian Sellers leading with 46 points. Catherine Legg with 42. Sergio Jimenez with 37 after taking 3 consecutive podiums. Simon Evans with 34 points. Kaka Bueno with 23. And trailing in the pro category is Stefan Radzinski for TWR Techeetah with 5 points, having only finished 1 race. In Pro-Am, we've got Bandar Al-Assai leading, taking back-to-back victories in Algeria and Mexico, and second in Pro-Am in Hong Kong with 56 points, with Ahmed bin Kanan in second with 30 points, Yachi Zhang in third with 29 points, Celia Martin with 17 points in fourth, Qi Lin, the Chinese journalist, in fifth with 11, and Tao Wang, who took third in Algeria, in sixth with 11 points also.
Nice. It's still pretty close.
Yeah, it's very, very, very close in the in pro category, but with Al-Assai taking 2 wins and second in Pro-Am, it's got a very big gap at the top. It's 26-point lead in Pro-Am at the moment.
Yeah, but I guess that can be overturned in a couple of races for sure.
That can easily be overturned. And the season's far from over, I think I want to say it's a 10-round calendar. We're only just gone past our third race. So very excited to see what happens.
We'll also be seeing them again in Sanya, China as well.
Yes, they'll be back, which means a longer riding session for me, unfortunately, but, I'm not complaining.
No, it's all good. It's
good fun.
It's a really cool series. If you haven't seen that race, go back and watch it.
Yeah, very good, worth a watch.
Alrighty, Formula E, the quali session and Super Pole. So, Super Pole, we got Andre Lotterer, Paffett, Degrassi, Rowland, and Van Dorn. and Stoffel van Dorn coming out on top. Amazing drive.
Yeah, absolutely exceptional. We knew he'd do it, I think. We knew Stoffel at some point this year would get a result like this. And with the rain in Hong Kong, it was thoroughly deserved, I think.
It really was. I'm looking, 3 Venturi powertrains in the top 6.
Yes.
A Nissan, a Techeetah, and an Audi. That's pretty good going. I mean, a couple of them were in the last group, so
yes.
You've got to take that into account. But Di Grassi made it through, and he was in Group 1. So really, there's no reason that your Buamis and the rest of the top drivers could have got in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Lucas Di Grassi's qualifying lap in Group 1 was exceptional, in all honesty. Sam Bird was the only other driver who really challenged Di Grassi in Group 1. And I still think he was about 0.3 of a second adrift. But with the other 3, which was Verline, D'Ambrosio, and I want to say Da Costa, they were all about 2 seconds off the pace. And obviously Group 1 did have the disadvantage because it was a wet qualifying. And the circuit was still damp. It had a lot of water on it, hadn't been cleared properly. So they had to deal with, slippier conditions. But that lap from Di Grassi really does, it does do the driver justice to be able to get into the top 6 for Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So well done to him. Now, into the race. Loads to talk about, Chris. It's just where shall we start? Okay, so
It was a difficult Formula E race, wasn't it? Drama throughout.
Oliver Rowland gets the jump on Stoffel van Dorn straight off the start, and he is away. I really liked Rowland this race. Unfortunate to what happened to him, but first we're going to talk about the early pile-up, Felipe Nasr and the 2 Mahindras. What happened?
So in turn 1, we had... Turn 1 in Hong Kong was the very tight right-hand hairpin, which is still a brilliant first corner for anything. It's crazy.
It's just crash central, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like a game of dodgem cars down there. It's bumping and banging throughout. And we saw Nasr get hit by Pachito Lopez, I believe. And in turn 1, Nasr picked up very bad front wing damage. He continued to drive around on the circuit, and the front wing, we've seen this in Formula 1 before, but he essentially ran over his front wing. So the front wing went under his front tyres, meaning that he couldn't steer. So Nasr is going into turn 2, tries to turn in for the right-hander. The car doesn't turn in, and he essentially just goes head-on into the wall at a 90-degree angle. Straight on in there. And becomes a mobile chicane, well, just a chicane, essentially.
He's not moving. Yeah,
he's not moving. He's in the barriers, and with the 2 Mahindras close behind, Verline runs into the back of him. Terminal suspension damage. Then D'Ambrosio follows, and it was just one big messy pile up in turn 2.
This was rough for Mahindra, and you've got to think, well, that came straight from qualifying.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, for them to be both at the back, both at the wrong place, this is one they'll want to forget.
Yeah, absolutely dismal weekend for Mahindra. They turned up nowhere. In practice, I don't think they were faster than... I don't think either of their drivers were placed any higher than 17th in practice 1 or practice 2. Qualifying was disaster, multiple seconds off the pace in Group 1. They started in 21st and 22nd, possibly. It was very much at the back. And then just wiped out by, a rookie's error in Formula E, essentially. But D'Ambrosio was annoyed by the incident.
Do you think that's worrying that they had no pace, or was it just the changing conditions that you think might have tripped them up? Or
I'm not sure, because we've seen Mahindra show pace in the first 4 races of the season. That's been very obvious, but in Hong Kong, the team was nowhere. And I think obviously qualifying pace comes into it. We've seen Verline deliver in qualifying this year, but D'Ambrosio, on the other hand, I think he's struggled a lot more over one-lap pace, and I'm thinking that might be a problem. In Mexico City, D'Ambrosio started from towards the back of the field again, and I think it was in Marrakesh. He only started from 10th on the grid.
Yeah.
He obviously won that one, but emerging problems, and I think if Mahindra want to be able to mount a serious challenge this year for the Drivers' and Teams' Championship, they need to start delivering, specifically in qualifying. Particularly D'Ambrosio. He's been in this series for 4 seasons. This is his 5th season now, and it is realistically the best shot that he's had at a championship. And he has to maximise every time he's on the track if he wants to really make that a reality.
Yeah, I agree. We'll go back to Roland now. Obviously, gutted for him. Pushed the pit limiter button.
I believe so.
Yeah, he was turning the corner, got hit by, I think it was Sam Bird, and pushed the pit limiter button and lost, went down to 8th or 10th or something like that. And yeah, that was him done.
Yeah, a rookie error, literally, in all honesty. It was only I want to say that was his 6th Formula E start of his career.
Yeah.
And an easy mistake, it was a mistake to make, and he made it.
Another mistake later on in the race.
Yeah, I think it was a mechanical failure on his Nissan car that put him in the wall.
And both Nissan cars out of the race. Buemi didn't finish yet again. What is going on with them? It's just incredible that they're in 8th position in the championship. How is Nissan? Edams was an experienced outfit, and just because there's a name change doesn't mean that they're just nowhere and having mechanical issues.
I think it's down to severe bad luck, if I'm honest. The Nissan powertrain's very fast, very pacey. We saw Buemi almost win in Santiago at the Parque O'Higgins track, and he obviously crashed his car in the closing stages. And then for the past 2 races, we've seen Oliver Rowland up there. He had a fantastic time in Mexico City. He was almost on the podium. They had a double DNF there, obviously, because they miscalculated their energy usage and, energy remaining because of the red flag.
Yeah.
And then this race, there was a suspension failure for Sebastian Buemi. Initially, it was thought that he made contact with Robin Freins from Envision Virgin, but he didn't. It just failed. And then I'm not sure what the problem was for Roland in the end, but I'm guessing it may have been something similar. I don't think we actually saw a replay of the Roland accident, though. Just him parked up with a lot of damage.
Venturi had a tough first race and a second race. Obviously, Mortara just going straight into the barriers turn 1, or just the brakes were doing funny things and they were having a few software problems. But now they are looking good. They're looking really good. I was really impressed with Mortara, actually. So Sam Bird and Andre Lotterer fighting away. Sam Bird takes the lead after Roland goes out, and then he goes and brakes a bit too late, almost goes up the escape road. Lotterer goes on the inside and gets the jump on him, and then Sam Bird chases him down for a good, 30 laps or whatever it was.
It was a titanic battle, wasn't it? It was fantastic to watch. It really was fun to watch.
I think Sam Bird had quite a bit more speed than Lotterer, though.
Yeah, I think Bird did have a lot of pace in his Envision Virgin car. And if he hadn't have made that mistake at turn 2, as soon as he took the lead, basically, I think we would have seen probably total domination from him. He obviously won one of the races in season 4 at Hong Kong, and that was a massive victory. He won with a drive-through penalty as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have checked out this time as well. He would have been gone.
Yeah, I think so. But the thing is with Lotterer, he's a fantastic racing driver. He's won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 3 times. He knows exactly where to position a racing car on a racetrack. And we saw that. It was fantastic defensive driving. Probably one of his best races to date in Formula E, I would say.
Yeah, well, those two have got history, haven't they?
They've got a bit
with defending.
Yeah, they've got a bit of beef.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
What you say? Yeah.
If Andre had won that, he would be right in the title fight. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it would have taken him towards the top.
He's really got a jump on Jev this season.
Jev has been so unlucky this year. It's I think I've cursed Jev. I think after Adiria, I turned around and said, Jean-Eric Verne will be unbeaten this year. He will be fantastic. He will win in Marrakesh.
Wow.
And he hasn't finished in the points for the past 3 races.
Yeah, maybe I should stop cheering for Mitch Evans and Tom Dillman.
Oh no, Mitch Evans was exceptional again.
Yeah.
At the weekend.
I feel like he's doing a lot with a little at the moment. I mean, Nelson Piquet's got 1 point.
Yeah, I would say that Mitch Evans is Formula E's unsung hero. He's one of 2 drivers on the current grid, in the 2018-19 grid, who's actually finished in the top 10 in every race so far, the other one being Daniel Abt. And what Evans did in Hong Kong, where it really was spectacular, his car was nowhere in practice 1. He had very limited running in practice 2. He missed 20 minutes of the session because he had a drive shaft failure. He only qualified in 17th in the race and then finished in 7th. Incredible.
He's good at getting those points.
He's a very talented driver, and I think, he's an emerging star of Formula E, and I think Jaguar will have to start delivering results soon for Mitch Evans. So I think he might be a candidate in the driver market, let's say.
Yeah, I think there was something with him, speculation about Porsche when they come in, because Porsche is looking for proven experience in Formula E. They don't want a rookie paired with Neil Jarney.
Yes, Jarney only has the 2 race starts, obviously, and I think Hartley's name was tossed around a little bit. And I think there's also been a link to Andre Lodder, because he used to be a Porsche factory driver in the World Endurance Championship. But obviously Evans is a candidate as well.
Yeah, and then, where does Jaguar go?
Well, I'm not sure. If that was the case, I'm not sure, because they've got Nelson Piquet. They signed him to replace Adam Carroll. Piquet obviously being Formula E's inaugural champion, but Piquet at the moment has been rubbish, if I'm entirely honest. He's only finished in the top 10 twice in his last 12 races, which goes all the way back to season 4, which is awful.
Yeah, that's pretty
poor,
pretty terrible.
Very poor.
Yeah, I really don't want to see Jaguar, down the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, I like Jaguar. They're a great little team. The guys and girls at the team are fantastic to talk with. They're brilliant team, and there's very much a ambition and drive to really get to the top of the standings. But if there's one thing that's for sure, they can't afford to lose Mitch Evans at the end of this season. They can't.
No, they definitely can't. No,
it would put them in a difficult position.
It would. Right, so Bird wins, but then gets a penalty after the fact for crashing into Loterer, and Loterer getting a puncture. So your thoughts on that? Was Sam Bird? Yeah. Did he deserve to get the 5-second penalty?
Yes.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
Good, yeah. I saw a lot of comments after the race on Twitter saying Sam Bird isn't an aggressive driver, which he isn't. Sam Bird's a very nice guy, after Hong Kong, in season 4, after running over half of his pit crew, he was very shocked, he was very shaken. Regardless of that, the incident was his fault. Verne got a 5-second time penalty for his collision with Tom Dillman. I think it was down in turn 2 at some point in the race. And Dillman was able to continue, but this incident between Bird and Lodderer, it ruined Lodderer's race completely. The tyre punctured. He got suspension damage. He went from first in a position to win his first ever Formula E race and Formula E's 50th race to boot, to finishing down in 14th as the final classified runner. And the puncture on that car really did wreck it. I know he would have been going as fast as possible on that final lap. But the state of that DS-Techeetah car, the side pod was gone. One of the aero fins on the back was gone. The diffuser was ripped to pieces. It was a lot of damage caused.
So Mortara getting the win, and he's now in the title fight because of that. That was an incredible drive from Mortara, and he was keeping pace with the leaders as well at the end, which was nice. So 5 races, 5 different winners from 5 different teams. Is this the best season yet?
It's exciting, isn't it?
It is.
It's not bad.
So here are the results. Eduardo Mortara in first, Lucas de Grassi being promoted to second, and Robin Frains in third, just out of nowhere. Daniel Apt scoring, a nice haul of points in fourth. Felipe Massa, fifth. Sam Bird in sixth because of the time penalty. Mitch Evans making his way up to seventh. Gary Paffett finishing at eighth. Good on him. That's really cool.
Solid results.
Oliver Turvey. I never see much of him, but I'm guessing that was a pretty decent drive to actually get a couple of points. And Antonio Felix da Costa getting 10th. That's all I've got. I'm only gonna talk about the point scorers. So in the Drivers' Championship, listen to this: Sam Bird in first overtakes Jerome D'Ambrosio in second. So Sam Bird 54 points, D'Ambrosio 53 points, De Grassi 52 points, as well as now Eduardo Mortara on 52, and Antonio Felix da Costa on 47 make up the top 5. Is that cool reading, or is that what? Oh,
it's very cool reading. It's very cool reading. I think it's the closest we've seen the Formula E standings for a while. And wow, that will change in Sanya again.
It will.
We're approaching the halfway mark of this season, and can you predict who is going to win the championship this year?
Well, I think it's going to be.
It's difficult. It's such a hard
call. You've also got Robin Frains on 43, and then Apton Evans on 34, and then Verline on 30, and Andre Lotterer only on 29 points now. So, and Vern languishing in 11th, 28 points.
The thing is, though, if you look at that 29 and 28, if either of them took a win, they'd be up there.
They're right back in it, yeah.
They're right back in it.
That's the thing. It's only going to take one race to get right back in it. No one's streaking ahead. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely incredible at the minute. Just no one knows. No one knows what's going to happen.
The team's championship is a little bit more spread out, with Envision Virgin racing up the top with 97, Audi Sport App Schaeffler 86, Mahindra 83 now, Venturi up to 66 points, overtaking BMW on 65, and then you've got Techeetah 57, Panasonic Jaguar 35, which 34 of those are Mitch Evans. I've been critical of Nelson Piquet, but hopefully he can pick up some points, because that's 7th place for Jaguar, 8th place for Nissan Edarms 21, HWA 7, Neo 6, and Dragon at the back with 2 points. That's about what I would have thought, unfortunately, from Dragon.
Yeah, I think they showed a lot of promise in the first race of the season with Lopez, but that hasn't come to be. Then obviously we had Max Gunther get replaced by Felipe Nasr.
Unfortunate.
From Mexico City onwards. Yeah.
I still want to see Gunther back in the car, to be honest.
This is the thing. This is going to become a bit of an exclusive to you right now, what I'm going to say. But it's puzzling because we've heard that Gunther might be back in the car this season.
Yes, we have.
And we've heard that Nasr won't be racing in Rome because he'll be racing in IMSA instead at Long Beach.
Correct, yeah.
Which would then mean that the duty would go to the reserve driver. And for this season, the reserve driver was Antonio Fuoco. He no longer has connections with the team. From what that's confirmed by Dragon to me. He no longer has any connection with the team. And Gunther is now that reserve. But we also saw the team test Raffaele Marcello at the Mexico City test, because there's talk that he might be racing in Rome.
Wow.
Which is also interesting. So there's a massive, massive question mark. In Dragon last season, tried to install Gunther in for the Berlin E-Prix in place of D'Ambrosio, German driver at a German track. Would be very popular. So, will we see something similar this year, perhaps? I'm not sure.
That would be interesting.
Just a theory.
Just a theory. An exclusive theory. Chris Soulsby, Motorsport Monday. Go and check it out. I'm sure he's got plenty more littered throughout that great magazine.
It's probably a conspiracy, in all honesty, but it's just a theory.
We'll claim it as an exclusive conspiracy. So
exclusive conspiracy. We'll just keep it here. Copyrighted, patented. Job done. Yeah. Don't talk about it. Cite us. Follow us.
Yep. So, just looking at the team's championship, there's one glaring thing that stands out, and that is both Audi powertrains up the top. Do you think we'll continue to see that?
I think Audi has a very strong package this year, and that does reflect in the points. The power delivery is solid. The efficiency is solid. I think Audi have really nailed it this season. They struggled in Ardiria. Tested afterwards. Frank stopped the morning session. I think Bird ended the day on top completely, but that's casting my mind back to last year. But I think something really clicked in that Ardiria in-season test, and we've seen that since. So,
yeah, brilliant. I'm also liking Venturi in fourth. I think my driver of the day was Eduardo Mortara. Solid throughout.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's been solid for the past few races. He got fourth, Santiago, third last time out in Mexico City, and then second, which became the win in Hong Kong. But it's interesting. I think Venturi this season is doing a very surprising job, if I'm honest. They've got ZF as one of their partners. For those of you who don't know about ZF, they're a leader in driveline and chassis technology, and they're essentially working with Venturi to deliver this Season 5 package. But Venturi are a very small team. They are a manufacturer, they are a works team, but they're a very small works team. In comparing their resources to the likes of Audi or BMW or Jaguar or even DS Techeetah, backed by Citroen, obviously, DS Performance. And Nissan as well. You know, we've got so many major manufacturers in Formula E there now. They're punching above their weight. They really are. I would say they're facing a big challenge against these manufacturing giants because they bring so much knowledge and they bring masses of resources to Formula E. Specifically in the background, they can build the car, but they also manage and design the software for the car. And I would say that towards the start of the season, Venturi might have had its work cut out, but they've really delivered this year. They've really delivered on a strong package. Motorsport Monday caught up with Susie Wolff ahead of the start of the season. And direct quote from her here. I've just plagiarised her, unfortunately. I've got it written down. She goes, "We have our work cut out, and but we are confident that we can take on the challenge." And that is the case. Venturi's first win in Formula E ever.
Yeah, it was great. I think Massa's coming into his own now as well, so I'm pleased for them.
Yeah, everything is aligning. Yeah,
surprised, but two top drivers. So. We'll see how they get on for the rest of the season, you know.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? Can't wait. Can't wait.
Formula E is exciting. It is.
Formula E is exciting.
If you're listening to this and you're not watching, why are you not watching?
If you're using this to fill in the winter because Formula One's away, you know.
Well, that's it. Formula E. This is the Wednesday of the race week in the Australian Grand Prix. So catch up on Formula E, and then
And then you can look at F1.
Get your Formula One fix. Yeah, then you can look at that.
Then you can have no excuse to not be watching Formula E right now.
Exactly. So I think we will leave it there. I'm I'm going to ask though, Chris, who do you think will win in Sanya?
Ooh, I'd like it to be 6-6.
I would too.
One of the DS to Cheetah drivers, Sean-Eric Verne. I'll put a curse back on him. Well, maybe he's lifted the curse with a bit of luck.
Yeah, potentially.
But Sean-Eric Verne to win in Sanya, China, I think. Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
I'm going to go with Robin Frains.
Not a bad call. He's been very strong. He's got that Audi powertrain, yeah. We'll see.
Good old Audi powertrain. Yep. I reckon he's going to dominate. No doubt. Alrighty.
We will see.
So, we will see. Chris, thank you once again for coming on. Thank you for getting up rather early. I tried to leave it as late as possible before heading off to bed in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's very appreciated. Very appreciated.
If you decide to come on again, I will try to do that in the future as well. So, where can we find your work? Motorsport Monday, Twitter, etc., right? Facebook?
Yeah, so you can follow Motorsport on Twitter. Just search Motorsport Week and Motorsport Monday. I don't have the exact handle in front of me. You can follow my personal accounts by searching at Chris_Soulsby on Twitter and Instagram, or you can like my Facebook page, which is one of my main platforms of communication with my readers, and that's at Chris Soulsby Journalist. So yeah, check that out if you want to see what I do. Have a read of the words that I write, and there are a lot, mind. But yeah.
Yeah, I fully recommend you check out all the words that Chris writes. He looks like he does a lot of work.
I wrote 6,000 words on Sunday.
It's a few words.
It's a couple, isn't it?
When I was at university, I don't think I wrote 6,000 words, and just the whole time.
It was.
I mean,
I was reflecting on this on Sunday. I wrote, I want to say just about 6,500, just under 7,000 words in magazine features in the space of 3 or 4 hours. And I was comparing that to the length of my dissertation. And I'm just thinking, if I found that writing rhythm in my dissertation, I would have been finished about a year ago now.
Oh, crikey.
It's crazy.
I struggled to write 1,000 words, let alone 6,000. So, yeah. If you want to write to us, though, we love to talk with people. I love to talk with people. I'll talk with anyone about Formula E or Formula One. I'm very excited. Before we go, Formula One, who is winning the World Championship, Chris?
Ooh, you've caught me off guard there. I don't know. Not Valtteri Bottas, I'm going to say.
Oh.
Not to put the guy down, but I think he's going to. I think this might be his last year at Mercedes. Very bold prediction, but I think he'll be out.
Yeah, I'm potentially thinking the same, but I'm going to go Lewis again.
I'm going to be a total idiot, and I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. I'm going to say Charles Leclerc.
I knew you were going to say that, but
Mic
you
drop.
never know.
Mic drop.
We don't know. We don't know if you're proved wrong or right just yet. We'll have to wait
Leclerc
and see.
2019. That's what I'm saying.
Is that actually a hashtag, or is it?
It will be.
Yeah. Okay. So back to closing the show. We love to talk with the community. Please send your questions, feedback to hello@regenracingpodcast.com. We have a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and regenracingpodcast.com. Yeah, if you would rate and review, that would be awesome. I know it's annoying, but yeah, that really helps us out. Be found higher up the charts. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. We are powered by transistor.fm, and if you're looking for hosting, that is an awesome service. They do hosting and analytics for this podcast. Our intro music, Danelle Armour, featuring Sarah DeWarren Gallery, and it is used with permission from Danelle Armour. He is amazing. Check out the music on all major platforms. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Chris.
No worries.
We'll see you next time.
Yes. Bye-bye.